Ramadan. Welcome our dear viewers to a new edition of Windows on TV International. I am Basma Taha. Egyptian-European cooperation is witnessing great developments in the field of digital transformation, and Egypt seeks to coordinate with European countries in order to enhance digital transformation. And indeed, this cooperation aims at enhancing and achieving more progress in the efficiency and the performance of institutions. And to shed more light on this issue, I'm honored and delighted to have here in the studio Dr. Wael Badawy, member of Research Council on Communication and Information Technology. Dr. Wael, thank you so much for joining us on Windows on TV International, always a dear guest. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Doctor. And at the beginning, let's say that digital transformation indeed plays a great and vital role nowadays, and it is still reshaping our world. And recently we have witnessed a Minister of Communications and Information Technology, Dr. Amr Talat, received heads of EU delegation here in Egypt, and indeed they discussed means to enhance cooperation and coordination between the two sides. I would like to know more from you, Doctor, about the significance of this coordination and also the main objectives behind this coordination.
This coordination it meant to modernize our lifestyle. So we have our vision 2030. So what we are doing right now is trying to learn from the best practice in different countries. We are trying to cooperate with them to understand where are the pitfalls, how we can achieve in a rapid manner development of technologies and information technology, AI, what have you, digitalization. Because digitalization for us is a key. With all of our population, about 107 million in Egypt right now, try to offer services everywhere at the same quality, increase the quality. There is no other way than digitalization. Europe has been, we can call it a leapfrog in this area, and that's why this collaboration is happening, and we have been seeing lots of visits from Minister Amr Talat to Europe, to different places. At the same time, we have been watching this delegation coming here to try to negotiate and interact to have a different lifestyle or a better lifestyle for us.
Great. Also, Doctor, artificial intelligence, AI, also continues to reshape our world. It is, despite its cons, but it is no longer a technical luxury, but it is very significant in reshaping the economies, the societies, and the world in general. I would like to know also more from you about how could AI be integrated into government services through this coordination?
AI, as a new technology coming in digital space, we have to understand it as a new calculator coming to our lifestyle. So we stop with calculator doing math in our heads. So having techniques and algorithms of AI working in a more efficient way, more rapid development, it will generate results in a faster way. It will be able to protect us in a faster way. So we have to consider AI as one of the pillars of our lifestyle right now. It will not go away. And we discussed before, it was here 5, 7, 10 years ago, applied in different areas, but we did not know it as AI because the user did not have AI in their hands. In terms of government services and financial services in particular, we have to understand that there are lots of issues with trust, with security, with credibility, and we cannot provide these services and this information to our nation without using the artificial intelligence. So if we talk about finance, we talk about credit score, we talk about risk of investment. All of these parameters right now are predicted by artificial intelligence techniques. Then somebody will verify the numbers and make sure it provides the right score or the right information. And we have been living through so many cyber attacks. They talk about more than 226 or more than 200 cyber attacks have been happening over the last 2 to 3 years on major Egyptian operations. And these cyber attacks have been blocked or stopped by our defense. So the way we do that is by using AI to build analytics around how services with what we call it prosperous life, or Haya Karima in Arabic. It has
Decent
to
life.
do. It has to do with how we can target our needy or people in demand with our resources. The optimization will happen with planning techniques that's using artificial intelligence as part of it. So it becomes an integral part of any mass-produced services. So the government can effectively, efficiently, at a low cost, providing these services. We have been watching during Corona pandemic how AI have been using to classify and characterize suspect against good health individuals. We have been watching lots and lots and lots of experiments on how to get early detection from X-ray and what have you. So in healthcare, the same thing also for IT, for IoT or Internet of Things. We have to always remember that Egypt is focusing their digitalization on 5 main pillars. One of them is agriculture. So agriculture, as IoT and distributed sensors, it will use artificial intelligence to collect data, to detect diseases in plant, to qualify what amount of fertilizer, what amount of water. This decision-making process right now is empowered by machine learning, which is part of artificial intelligence. That's why AI is here. We are using it. We will be happy with it. And if there are some pitfalls or like some low accuracy in some areas, it will not be significant for our application.
Great. Also, Doctor, since you mentioned now agriculture and also health and early diagnosis of diseases, I would like also to know more from you, Doctor, about which areas are in focus more or mainly education. You mentioned agriculture and health. What else? Education?
We understand is in banking, is huge in banking right now. Agriculture, health is not as what we like to be. Government services, so all when you pay, when you do transactions on payment, and we also use smart cities. So the new cities which is coming in Egypt, more than 26 different new cities, all of them, their infrastructure is managed by machine learning, intelligence, and artificial intelligence as part integrated. We have been talking before, traffic management. We look at traffic management. So this is the main 5 areas, which is infrastructure and city services, finance, health, information security for our individuals, agriculture, and we will see more and more of them.
And also, Doctor, education. What do you think? What do you think in education, in schools, in universities?
In education, we have been using AI for a long time, because we have been looking at tools to do anti-plagiarism. And the tools which do plagiarism detection, it uses artificial intelligence to match documents across of different places. But we've never been outstanding as plagiarism. We have been using translators. We have been using grammar correction, and without not mentioning tools name, but there are so many tools to help with grammar, with structure. All of these tools right now are artificial intelligence. To build personalized education, to build interaction with education, they are in a baby steps. I know the Ministry of Higher Education, they do have initiatives to incorporate artificial intelligence in it, but is not as mature as what we have been watching and experiencing in finance. Is not as mature as what we have been watching in getting traffic violation for seat belt or for a speeding car. So it's coming, however, it's still in early stages. The other applications, they do exist. Cyber attacks is a reality. And we have been watching lots of problems, the problems in Lebanon, the main attacks on different infrastructure, different banks. There were cases actually in countries where the attacker will go in and will play with the numbers. And this one happened also in Lebanon as well. So these kind of attacks are real. And the only way to protect our people from these attacks is to be ahead of the attackers. Because the attackers usually they will find alternative way and the better way. They are highly educated than the defense mechanism. So having artificial intelligence tools to defend and immediately swap different drives, different data, make protection, understand the anomaly of data. It's a must.
And also, Doctor, there are recently workshops held in different ministries in order to train employees on the use of or how to deal with cyber attacks and so on.
Under His Highness Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, our President, he's really into the capacity building. So he has few initiatives. One of them is initiatives cross-board. Anyone in any kind of profession, they will come to a training, and this training will show you how you use AI in your own field. This is the most recent initiatives. So we are with our Vision 2030, we are building people. We now are building people. They are not building new countries. They are building people, and the people will build the new country. So in this way, we have the capacity building. So we have lots of training, and there are actually, we can call it like an epidemic of training, because there are so many training. There are at least 5 ministers I'm aware of. They do have organized training. In addition to major companies, they have agreements with major organizations. We are looking to retain our people who can work overseas from Egypt. So this kind of freelancing overseas and getting and staying in Egypt, this is one mandate in our country, in our government. We have been watching this kind of operation and this kind of push. So the only way to get a prosperous individuals is to train them in the technology of the future, so they can find a job in the future. And we have been now seeing the future is coming with AI, with digital, with programming. So there are lots of capacity building activities happening everywhere. And it's very interesting that people are actually coming aggressively, and these are oversubscribed programs. So the government, the individuals themselves are fully aware and eager to jump in this new boat of digitalization or AI, whatever you call it. It's just dealing with digits. We don't deal with paper.
Great. As you said, Doctor, indeed, huge efforts are exerted by the state in this regard in order to enhance the digital transformation. And moving to another point, also the private sector indeed plays a very great and significant role in that regard. And also we have seen many challenges were overcome by the cooperation by the state and the private sector. I would like also, Doctor, to know more from you about the coordination between the state and the private sector in that regard.
The government-private partnership over the last maybe 10, 20 years is the only way to implement new solutions, because companies own these solutions. Companies, they understand. And the government, as a government role, is to create policy, to support, to supply. The government role is not to create new technology. So we have this partnership, and this partnership was actually effective in so many areas. And we have to remember, the very first cell phone company in Egypt was private. Yes. There are so many applications where the government will come, and even when the government will come and contribute and invest in this application, however, these applications are led by private companies, it's usually more successful, and they pay their revenue back to the government. So this private government partnership is important. The issue we have discussing over the last maybe 2 weeks is how we can make sure we have a harmonized infrastructure. How we want to make sure that international companies or any companies will come here will not get an orphan or a different device, and this device can be part of attack, or it can slow down the system. So the Egyptian government was successfully doing so many of these partnerships. It's not only in communication, it's not only in digitalization, it's not only in AI, but in all other areas, like constructing roads, like constructing new buildings, automation. Everywhere, this partnership right now coexists. And I believe this is the way, because you need to get enough money to create enough revenue to sustain the operation.
Well, also, Doctor, as you said, there are huge efforts in this regard in many areas, and of course we have also witnessed the Cairo ICT, which is very significant in that regard, and we witnessed also many international experts taking part in this great forum. How could that contribute to Egypt becoming a regional digital hub, in your point of view?
I strongly believe that Egypt right now at the stage of being regional hub,
Yes.
because we have all of these internet cables coming down, the marine cables still coming across of Egypt. This cable running through, it's actually connect east with west, south with north. So we have lots of talents. There are so many countries in the surrounding of Egypt. They will come here to try to attract entrepreneurs, try to attract startup companies, try to build technology farms here. There are few companies we are aware of right now who can build technologies here, build the software here, test the hardware, and then this hardware, software will be shipped overseas to different countries. So we have been as a hub, and we are currently the hub. Maybe we have to be in a shadow in a little bit so people don't come and say or try to attack us as a hub. But we are a hub. There is no current over, like if you walk to any country from the surrounding country of us, you will find lots of Egyptians. They are the lead in the area of information technology, in the area of project management. In the past, there used to be few countries. They used to have Egypt, Jordan, Syria. Now these countries, for their own issues, so there is no space for them to keep going. However, our countries have been protected, thanks to God, and we have been elaborating on our knowledge, increasing our knowledge, and our youth and our young generations have been taking this leap inside the area of digitalization. So we are, in my opinion, we are the hub.
And also recently, also Dr. Amr Talat, Minister of Communications, said that, and Information Technology, Dr. Talat said that 23 digital innovation centers have been established in the different governorates of Egypt in order to support entrepreneurs.
Yes, they do have, they started with the City of Knowledge in the new capital, and right now they are copying the same model. So there are centers of knowledge in different cities. There are entrepreneurship programs. There are focused programs on microelectronics. There are focused programs on helping special or people with need assistance or special need individuals. So they do have specific programs right now to move Egypt into the new era. And the new era is digitalization, not only writing software, but even having some insights into how to develop hardware. We have a few companies here, are leading companies, Egyptian based, and they still Egyptian identity, and they are exporting so many microelectronic areas. So when we went through the last visit about 2 months ago, it was an eye-opener. That's how much in Egypt happening in this area of AI, digitalization, communication, and microelectronics. And we deal with different partners, which is amazing. We have the Chinese partnership available in many places. We have now the French partnership. We have the EU partnership. So as Egyptians, we are open and we fertilize almost every relation with almost any nation to get the best out of it.
Great. Also, Doctor, how could this coordination contribute to Egypt's Vision 2030 and sustainable development?
In 2030 vision, we have been looking at Egypt as leading in the area of communication, telecommunication, digitalization. Now, in sustainable development, these technologies allow us into the e-cycling, where we get electronic recycling. It gets us into the recyclable economy, which basically reuse these different technologies. There are also some technologies where we can build balanced sources, so we can control renewable energy sources with traditional sources to guarantee operation and guarantee productivity and continuity of operations. So, and this is what we have been seeing in the new capital and in different cities, because I believe the new capital is a model. It moves to all other cities with the same technology. So we have been watching, there are different areas where you have renewable energy, you have solar panels, and when solar panels are not providing enough for any reason, there are alternative sources. So this renewable energy management, it's also part of our vision in 2030. So we are in the right path, despite all the tension around us and all the other issues in the four different directions around Egypt, all the threats we have around, but our very wise, I'm very surprised and amazing government we have.
Yes.
They were able to manage these tensions and to keep us as one nation working forward to prosper Egypt under the Vision 2030.
Great. Also, Doctor, are there certain kinds of scholarships or training programs or workshops for students or researchers in Europe?
There are so many programs in Europe. There are few programs have been managed like Egypt, UK, Egypt, France. There is an Erasmus program which is with the EU. There is a Spain, Egypt programs. All of these programs, they do have a pass into capacity building where people will go there and get masters and PhDs and come back. There's also another pass to Germany. So we have at least 6 or 7 different one-to-one country, and you have the Erasmus, which is basically EU umbrella program. So we have programs in Europe. We have also programs with China. We have programs with Malaysia. So there are so many programs to send Egyptians out overseas or outside, explore, learn new technologies, and when they will come back, we will benefit from their experience and move in the right direction.
Great. Also, Dr. Wael, what about exporting Egypt's digital solutions to neighboring countries?
It exists to an extent, and it existed very long time ago. So when we had our first cell phones operation, this cell phone company has so many other companies copying the same technology. We have been building solutions for different government. There are so many graduates here and young individuals who are working overseas by providing these solutions. What we maybe miss right now is to miss a flagship solution for what we need on a daily basis, like social media. So I believe we have to start to look at how we can build our own social media, how to be able to protect our information, our data. And this social media cannot be built by the government. It has to be built by a private partnership with the government, and then instead of using the standard social media, now we go and all of us will be accessing this social media and protect our data. We have been looking now to the government to build what we call it infrastructure for artificial intelligence. So we need to have clusters of processors. We need to have our own cloud, so when we upload our data, it does not go to Europe, it does not go to Asia, it stays in our nation. And this is what the government was actually announcing in different announcements for experts. This is what we understood, and we believe in a couple of years from now we are on this path, that we will have our own infrastructure, so we can basically run our own internet away from everybody.
Great. Also, Doctor, if we talk about the new technologies that are being introduced via this cooperation.
In what sense? Like when we deal with Europe, Europe are advanced in specific applications like their telecom. Like we know that their telecom is much faster. They have lots of different services, and we get this service here like passport control service. They do have also some nuclear experience, and this also will be controlled by digital equipment. They do have so. I believe we are getting all of these different interactions away from what we have right now, because what we have right now, it may be sourced from nation which we have, there are in risk because they have tensions around them.
Great. Also, Doctor, you mentioned before the cyber security, but I would like to delve more into this term because it is really very significant, and as you know, cyber security is very significant nowadays, and there are also many training workshops are being carried out in different ministries due to its great significance. So how do you see the role of cyber security during this cooperation?
Cybersecurity, it's coming as an urgent need because almost all of us right now we have our own digital presence. So when we have our digital presence, we are subject to somebody who come to steal our identity, or steal our information, or steal our photos, or steal our videos, and then misuse them, abuse them, or pretend, impersonate ourselves and stand as we are. The interesting part that 95% or 99% of breaches and the breakdown will come from where? From human. If we don't have human who can click on a link, doesn't know from where, he will open an email, or she will open an email which does not know who sent these emails, who will not go to suspicious websites and agree to download cookies or do stuff like that, it will be safer. So the only way to combat this cybersecurity is to increase awareness, and there is awareness. When we have to talk about what you should do, how you can build a new password, how you can have a strong password, you don't link all of your email, all of your information with one email, so if the email is hacked, will happen. There are
how to deal with the cyber attacks, you mean?
It's not dealing, it's preventing you falling into cyber attack. It's like what I tell us before, hide your money, don't show your money, don't show your passport when you be traveling, having this belt where you hide your stuff, so when you walk, nobody, it's the same, but you are in cyberspace.
To take precautionary measures before the problem occurs.
Yes, because what we found is 95 to 99%, it's a human user fault, which allows the bad guys to come in. The other 1%, it may be also human related, or the other 5%. So it's a must that we have to create awareness, and there is awareness, and to keep the message going. So having the government to do so, because we have to understand, like, what will happen if any of these activities will be shut down because of an attack? The whole country will be freezing. So imagine one day you have no services because there was an attack. Imagine that one of our banks will be attacked. It's not only panicking of public, but it's also damaging to our reputation as a country, damaging our trust into digital areas and digital applications. That's why all of the government now is trying to create awareness, trying to build knowledge so people will be aware. And I also believe that my presence here and my colleagues' presence in different medias trying to create awareness. That's why you have to tell, you should not do this, you should not do that, you should not do that. You don't share your email, don't share your password, don't share your username, keep it for yourself. When you log in, you make sure you log out. Don't use a simple password. Don't use your name as a password. Don't use your birth date as part of the email, of the password. Try to use a strong password. One of the funniest part, we were doing an audit one time, and when you walk in, you'll find each computer have a username and password on a sticker. This is not cybersecurity. This is it's just foolish, because anybody sitting, he can log in. If you don't use your system, you log out. How many of us will not log out from the social media application?
Many.
Almost all. Then what will happen? I personally sometimes make false calls or false touches because I don't log out. And how many? So having these techniques and having these cultures around, having this knowledge is a must. As a digital, we can call them digital citizens, walking on their feet down the street. Otherwise, we'll be subject to attacks. And if we have one attack on one, the 107 million will be subject to the same attack, because these systems, when they come in, they will basically flourish everywhere. So you will basically find one attack, everybody connected to this account will have similar attack. And we have been watching this on some of these communication tools. No, this is not me. Don't pay ransom because my account was actually hacked, and they tried to recover the account. So this is where we see the government actually, it's a very interesting that our government is really aware of these problems.
Yes.
Not only aware, our president and our prime ministers and all the ministers are trying to take steps and investing in our people. I'm not talking, it's not spending, it's actually investing in our people so we can come to a higher level of knowledge. And so this is what like make me feel proud more about what what's happening.
Okay.
Because
Doctor, do you think that we need, for example, something like awareness campaigns via social media, via ads, in order to raise the awareness of people about the significance of that issue?
yes, we need that, but we have also, because different banks will tell you don't share your information,
Yes.
don't share your 3 digits on the back of your card. So we hear these
Yes.
campaigns.
And always sends messages
Yes,
via mobile.
yeah, and always send messages.
yes,
But on the radio,
showing these instructions.
on radio and TV, in prime time, where it's very expensive to play an ad, there were so many campaigns. And maybe we are now not following these campaigns because it becomes as common that we hear these messages. But every day you say, oh, don't share your card information. If somebody will call you, ask you for information, the bank will never call you to ask you to repeat information. You are the one who has to call the bank, not the bank will call you. So we start now, and to be honest,
that happens every now and then from the different banks via
Yes.
SMS.
And I don't believe it's individual banking decision. I'm not sure it's me or what's happening here, but I believe that the Central Bank of Egypt is actually giving this invitation to banks on a different time frame so they can keep the message up. It's not just individual efforts. So we need campaigns, we need more and more campaigns, because as you have been watching, these technologies have been changing on a monthly or a weekly basis to be reasonable.
Yes.
So that's why with every new technology coming, with every change in this technology, we have to go back and remind. We have to go. So I'm not sure how much the government could spend and keep spending in this area, but these campaigns are here and they are effective. Within my personal network, we have been watching now different individuals in our families saying, oh, this is attack, oh, I'm not responding to this phone call because I don't know the number. This is a strange number. So we have been watching this everywhere.
Great. Also, Doctor, let's talk about the programs. Which programs are in place in order to, via this cooperation, of course, in order to train students or researchers on digital skills?
The established one of programs in between Egypt and Europe is the Erasmus program. And the Erasmus actually fund different laboratories, different missions, different education systems. And they've been around here maybe more than 10 years. And they're still putting more revenues. UNDP as well is another program which is providing lots, in particularly for women. Like Qudwa Tech, which is one of the initiatives by Minister of Communication, Information Technology, is partially funded by UNDP. And so people in and the Mid East, which is a different way, is funding lots of activities around southern Egypt. Youth and women. And now, so we have these programs. And as I said, there's also the individual country programs. And we have been watching when Macron was here in Egypt, how many bilateral agreements have been signed.
Yes.
So if we say like 10% of this 70-some or 100-some agreement have been signed, if only 10% is activated, not all of them, we will see a complete deformation in our country, and we are moving with this formation to a different, better areas.
Great. Also, Doctor, talking about how could citizens benefit from digital services? We talked about healthcare, we talked about schools and learning. Like tourism, for instance, how could tourists benefit from such digital skills?
Digital services,
Yes.
it's meant to build transparency, anti-corruption, and effective, efficient service and personalized experience. So if we want to move to tourism, managing their visits and trying to do booking online, it's one way. We have been watching the new deformation of the new changes, what's happening in the pyramid right now, in the pyramid visits. And one was actually doing a documentary on that, or a talk show on that. He was saying, oh, the QR code, I missed to do the QR code and now I have to do it manually, which is painful. So if our people will start to use these digital services as much as they can, like on a personal experience, when I was renewing my car registrations, I use the digital service everywhere and in every other mean, in all other means. And when I standed as the registrar, all what I did is the car inspection, because I cannot do the car inspection. So it took me less than 1 hour between inspection and the coming out with my new registration. It was less than 1 hour. Usually it takes about 1 day or maybe 2 days. So when
it saves a lot of time and a lot of efforts.
It saves lots of time, lots of effort, and you also be aware of how much are you paying, because you pay online. So you don't come into a situation and say, oh, I don't have that much money, I need to go back. I know exactly. So this was about 2 years ago. It was a very effective way. Now when we know that we have seniors, and our seniors don't trust digital transformations because they did not use these digitals. They like to see someone who can talk to them about their bank balance, someone who explains to them. And that's why we always keep a little bit of human interaction, but we should move more into this digital, because it's, as I said, it's transparency. It's there is no corruption there. Everything is clear. You do it at home, and once it's done, basically you walk in and get the service and leave. And many of our services right now are sent by post, so you don't need even to present. And one discussion we had one time, what about the fees? We don't talk about the fees. Let's talk about how long will it take you, how much you will spend into getting the downtown or to the actual location, how long you will wait, how many hours are you driving, or how many minutes are you walking. Talk about all of that. You will find that even these fees are marginal in the whole scheme of things. So that's why we actually now look at, I believe we start to look at what else could be digitized so we can use it online, and we start to hate going to different places to meet people, to stand up and just trying to do transactions.
Great. Also, Doctor, moving to a clear or a similar point, which AI, as we said, AI is no longer, despite it has its cons, but it is no longer luxury, but it plays a great and vital role nowadays in shaping societies. Through this cooperation, what opportunities exist for future cooperation between Egypt and EU or European countries in AI and digital transformation in general?
We have to understand that Europe overall is more advanced because they do have the infrastructure. So if we start to collaborate with them, we will get access to the most recent infrastructures. We here don't have this infrastructure. It's because that we only arrived late. We could not now build this infrastructure. It will cost us too much money, while it exists over there. So having this collaboration, we will learn what's new coming. We will also have the experience on what kind of service they provided. And so when we copy this service to here, or we localize this service or adopt this service here, this service will help us in a faster way. It will be a rapid deployment. It will not be just you start at a smaller scale. So almost like it's good that we come second, so somebody else got the shock and they have the trial, but we have to use it, because I believe these countries now are looking at us. They want to help us, because we shouldn't fail. If we fail, there will be nobody standing in this area at all. That's why I believe they are looking for us as to support us to move on. And as I said, we are 107 million. If we want to get new services, we cannot afford building, because we cannot afford waiting to build new buildings.
Yes.
But it's easy in one day to attach new computer and expand the service.
Great, Dr. Wael. Unfortunately, our time has come to an end, but I would like to thank you so much for coming today and for your information. Dr. Wael Badawy, member of Research Council on Communication and Information Technology. Thank you so much, a dear guest on Windows on Nile TV International. Thank you,
thank you, Basma, and thank you for all of your viewers, and hopefully we'll be again together.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Doctor. And dear viewers, by that we come to the end of this edition of Windows. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more on Nile TV International.